Hello and welcome to my videos. Um, I have been doing quite a lot of good regarding working on my sloth this weekend and the last few weeks. I have not been very good actually at uh, giving you guys the update of the sloth because I am not sure. I think I must have totally forgotten about doing that. Um, but as you can see, it's about two-thirds done, and I'm actually quite happy with it. Um, I took a picture last night before I went to bed because I was just about to go sleep and like properly go sleep and not just rest, and I was so curious as to how does it look when I put it down on my couch. And last night, as you probably also see, also different from last time I made a video, my couch is now having another blanket on it. It's not any uh, bed sheets actually. The black has been bed sheets. I did have to wash them because after some time you gotta change. Just like clothing, it started to get like it had been a while since I changed, so I put on the blankets, which will stay up until they need washing because I won't take them off and on and off unless I need to. Um, and in the picture, which I will show, like now, I think, it's like in the picture, or rather, not now, but at the end of the video, because I'm still figuring out the kinks and such with. Wait. Editing videos. At least I can edit some on my phone now with an app for free, and I'm not willing to pay for an editing app as of now, while the editing I have on my phone now works okay. um but yeah, the one of the primary reasons I actually wanted to make a video now was due to having watched um, Elise Rose Crochet's last video. At least I think it was one of the newest ones, where she spoke about how crocheting have been affecting her life and helping her actually, both mentally and physically, I think, at least mentally. um it got me thinking, how have crocheting in general been helping me for the last year? It's like I got separated and I'm trying to stay friends with my ex, because we have two cats together, and obviously I miss those two because if I have new pictures of me and them, I will put them in my videos if I can, because they're my babies. Other way, crocheting have been some kind of an escape when I have had the worst periods of my depression, um, which I have mentioned in an earlier video. Uh, Back in the middle of November 2023, when a my very good friend Gabriel died, I went into a quite bad depression. And literally, I couldn't put words on it before. I still can't because I don't remember everything. Um, I just know I was depressed and struggled quite a lot mentally with things, and I really wish it hadn't been like that. I really wish I could have avoided pretty much everything uh, of the bad that happened between especially middle of November until like December 24th last year. Um, I remember quite well that I was a wreck. And if I had not had any crocheting at all with me when I was at my friend's place for a month, just over a month, my mind would have gone crazy. I would not have been able to be as calm as I am, think through things, work through things, figure out who I am, how I like things, what I want now, because when the depression hit its lowest, which is was obviously when my friend died, um, I struggle quite a lot to even just have the ability to eat something at all. I am eating now, obviously. I have not died because I have been eating. Um, the main thing that crocheting has done is giving me some kind of escape from the toughest feelings and helped me quite a lot with focusing on good things like achievements from, for example, starting filet crochet again, and it's the only type of crocheting I actually have been enjoying for the last year, about a year now, and I'm quite proud of that. Uh, I am about to start uh, on a another small project. I am not sure yet what kind of color it will be made in, uh, but it will be put up on my Etsy shop. I have still not been able to put the latest one I made up on Etsy, but that's mostly because of having problems with the video I have been trying to make. So there's that also. Um, but just making the crocheted items in general have been such a help for me that I could think, I could do things while also stare at the blank wall, for example. I just, it kind of gave me a reason to stick with my gut, stick with what I'm thinking, and listen to myself, take breaks, look for an apartment, just being myself, trying to figure out who I am now as I'm living alone. It's still an adjustment time because all my life actually I've been living with others. I've not been able to be completely alone for hours on end, days after days. And to be fair, I actually enjoy this. I'm still also working through my the loss of a really close friend I had because they kind of dumped the friendship and is refusing to speak to me, not even reading my messages to them, which is, I can only say this, F you for being such a dick. Uh, I'm sad it is like this because it shouldn't. Uh, but what else can I do than just tell them to F off and move on, really? Um, I regret letting that person into my life based on how they have been treating me since the middle of August. I was happy with having a very close friendship with them, but they were lying to me for quite a while and then just making me feel like a complete asshole for actually for them not talking to me about things that bugged them, and they were insecure about things regarding me without speaking to me when they knew very well speak to me because I sit with the answers about myself. And when I tried to take up some issues with them before August, they explained to me that they have been blah blah blah. Completely bullshit. They just they're just not a good person for me, and the fact that people ghost me, and because some do, I don't do anything at all to hurt them. I don't do anything to be a bad person. But still, this is also an instance where crocheting has helped me through my feelings, helped me think, helped me get past recent uh, things that could have potentially destroyed me mentally, because losing someone very close to you, it's hard, and they also knew how it affected me when Gabriel died, because I was literally in the room with them um, when I received the news that, hey, he died last night, and I'm like, oh fuck, oh shit, uh, which is ironic because they know how deeply things like that affect me, and then they just completely ghost me after I don't know really. I don't remember, and frankly, I don't care anymore. I obviously do care about the person because they were quite close to me and helped me quite a lot back in November. And yeah, I one of the reasons I kind of bring up this person again is because I okay, calm down, calm down, calm down. I had plans to start during August or at least September uh, a belated birthday gift to that friend. Um, and they really love cats. So I thought, why not make a bigger picture crocheting of cats and of two cats together, just smiling, because because of how close they were to me, I wanted to make something like, "Hey, I'm thinking about you. Hope you're okay," um, stuff like that, and make something really personal. Because why wouldn't I when I'm close to someone? I like making things to those I'm close to. It's like Sam the Sloth, my friend in Sweden, which I also have called Sammy. Um, I This sloth reminded me of him, so I am going to actually um, post on my Facebook page when this sloth is done, because I'm making this for him specifically, and he is looking really forward to get it. And the next big project I'll make, which I have said, which is the cat face, which looks kind of derpy. Uh, I I'm quite looking forward to it, despite the yarn I'm going to use, because that yarn in particular, it's not my favorite yarn to work with anymore because I have other options. But I'm using what I have, and I paid over 1,000 kroners for it, so obviously I'm going to use it up. Maybe I'll buy that kind of yarn later if I need for something like borders, because for the past time when I've been using this vintage yarn, if it wants to focus, that is, yeah, when I've been using this vintage yarn, um, like the rest of it as borders for smaller projects and or something, it's been quite fun. This vintage crocheting yarn, tatting yarn for that matter, um, there last time I checked, there are still some on um, eBay, a 3 pack. Uh, Although I quite enjoy using that specific yarn for mm, borders, I still would not buy more. That's my personal opinion because I'm done with vintage yarn. Uh, so yeah, uh, I have been finding out what one of the uh, elf-like designs I'm going to make for Gabriel's surviving girlfriend. Um, and it'll be the chain yarn, and according to the cone, which I can't reach as of now because it's literally 2 meters ahead of me, and I'm quite sitting too good on my lap to move, because yes, I am lazy and I gladly admit it. And it's 2,500 meters. I don't quite remember the yardage, but it's quite long. Uh, it's a really nice color to it because of the green tint, kind of gives it just something special. What I'm not looking forward to is to make the foundation row, chainless foundation row, or chainless foundation chain. I might have to make it a little bigger because uh, yeah, I actually do have to do that. Just one more bigger. Okay. Um, That's just because I work like that. But making any kind of project in crocheting, new or old, uh, sometimes you just make differences and fix something you have been unhappy with in the design in general. And I obviously made a mistake with this sloth. I made some kind of mistake when counting my stitches, and because it has the correct stitches lengthwise, but while I worked on the bottom part and outwards, I have added too many, which is why it's kind of flat here, and especially on this side, it's really flat on the sides. It's not supposed to be that flat. And the bottom part here is kind of too um, too thick. I should have paid more attention to that, but that's on me. But at the same time, it works. It's not bad by any chance. Um, and I also want to talk about how much fun I had on Friday evening and basically all of yesterday at my ex's place, because I hung out with my boys, and of course they were going to help me with the crocheting. I really love them. I really, really do. But when they are trying to help me by sitting on my project so I can't work and have to cuddle them instead, or if they want to sniff it, that's fine. I don't mind that. But when they start chewing, clawing, and or trying to take the yarn thread I'm working from, I'm more like, no, please don't. You could do so much other things and still help me quite a lot more than you're doing now. No. Chaplin, for example, as you will see in quite a few pictures from my ex having taken them, he is sitting on my work. I cannot work, and I have one of the funniest facial expressions of terror, because when I'm working and someone suddenly sits down on my lap and it just sits there, I'm like, why are you doing this to me? And obviously, I get somewhat offended because that's a cat who knows I like to work on crocheting stuff, and he's been punished by me being mad at him one night a few years ago. I think it was in very early 2021, because he's a Corona cat with his brother. Um, they had somehow gotten a hold of my yarn ball, and it's quite a lot of meters in that yarn ball in the DMC balls. That's okay, because that means there's more for me to work with. The problem was, and I might have explained this earlier, he and his brother were basically using up all the yarn to go around everything in the apartment and making a huge mess and knots and whatnot, just to push the ball around and see how far it gets and make as much sound as possible. And biting over the thread multiple places and making it really hard for me to work. So I obviously had to buy more because that was my last ball, but I used what I could, which were not destroyed by some kind of spit fluid or anything. I Cats, they were also kittens when we got them, so like 12 weeks. obviously they're going to play, but like, don't take my arm when you know you're not supposed to be near it. Um, I also experienced both of them on my lap at the same time. It's like I'm sitting like this, right? This is my upper body. And sometimes, very rarely, if one of them is at the length of my legs and then the others is in my lap, they're both there and they're not competing over the space. That's fine. I love that the few times it actually happens. But on Friday, they were not interested in my ex at all. They both wanted my lap. So one of them uh, had taken basically all of my legs because they're so long and I'm quite small actually. Um, was laying on my legs. He was so happy, content, and like, ooh, my favorite spot. And then Chaplin came because Ask had taken the legs. Chaplin sat down basically on top of my belly and lay down and just cuddle, cuddle, cuddle. And he stayed there together with Ask for maybe 2 till 3 hours, 2.5 hours. And it was so magical. And my ex was like, but I want to cuddle Kitty too. And I said, yeah, you can take one, but they have chosen me. And I never told them to choose me at all. And yeah, when Osk started to move again because he got the Subis, he actually did calm down quite fast and cuddle my ex again, which I'm okay with. Uh, the last time I cuddled Chaplin before I went home yesterday, uh, he was getting slightly offended by me for moving my hand because when he likes to lay in my hands, he's using all his forepaws to push on down into my hands and also push my fingers as far back as he can, and then he wants to sleep because he's a cat, but my fingers don't prefer that. So after some time I actually had to take my hand away, and he got so offended because I moved that he went over to my ex. He looked at me with a very, 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 very unamused face, and he was obviously hurt and offended by the highest degree possible. And then he just slammed down and was laying in her armrest. And like, yeah, okay, you can go cuddle there. I don't care really because I've been cuddling with you for almost 24 hours straight and more. Uh, and he was like, but look at me. Mom is doing things my dad cannot because my dad is stupid. And yes, I'm a dad. So I was like, what are you doing, boy? Just go cuddle and you don't have to be so dramatic. But like, he's a cat, so obviously he's dramatic. But the few times when he wanted to cuddle on my lap, he came running to me and just like, Daddy! And before I could even move my work away from my lap so he could lay down, because usually I just worked over him, because as long as he got cuddles, he was fine. Um, he sat down on top of things and like, look at me, Daddy, I want to cuddle. And I might have explained this earlier in the video. I don't remember because I don't remember what I have said, and I have something my mother calls mouth diarrhea. Like, I can't shut up. I can't be quiet, and I know that because when I start talking, I could get so into it that I never take a break to actually say what I want to say, and sometimes I say completely different things and stuff like that. So that's a problem I have, and I'm trying really hard, really hard to work on that. This video started as something serious about me talking of things that basically what has done for me and helped me with, into talking about my cats and them being goofus. They're just derpy. Derps. Derpy derp 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 derp. I still feel like no matter what, Ask is too pretty to be as stupid as he is. And Chaplin, Duppy, Dup, he's too derp to look good in pictures. Because if I were to explain their personalities, uh, Ask is basically the hyperactive ADHD kid, unmedicated, and also kind of like the school jock, the one on the rugby team or whatever with the biggest body muscles and handsome for that matter, but really stupid. That's Ask. Chaplin is more like the nerdy kid with autism who worries about everything, has every phobia that exists, and blah blah blah. Uh, you get the picture. Typical nerd, really. So, yeah, I mean, Chaplin is afraid of the action of pouring something drinkable, no matter what, into a glass. He has no problem with running water, no problem with a glass alone, or if a glass is filled with something. His problem is when you're pouring something into the glass. That's some of the most stupid and scary things in all of the world, according to him. Um, I will at the end of this slightly long video add some uh, what do I say? Add some pictures of what my facial expression and just how my boys have been helping me crocheting in their own way. Obviously, not destroyed everything because then I would not even let them near me. Um, I also just love posting about them and talking about them. Um, it's still quite fun actually when Chaplin wants to go into the bathroom with me at night, and I'm like, no, you can't get in now because I'm doing this and that, and blah blah blah. And he's like, nah, nah. And I'm like, no, you cannot. I will get out soon. And I'm trying to finish so I can get out and cuddle him because he obviously wants to be with me and cuddle. And he will sit outside the door, start to scratch it, and like, nah, nah, nah. He has this very high pitched, super cute sounds when he's trying to speak, and he's he's such a doofus. So I then start to argue with him because I say, no, I'm coming out soon. And he's like, yeah, 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 yeah. Because they're making lots of weird sounds. And he starts to get more and more annoyed when I say no. And he's like, but I want to. And if I don't let him win and don't let him in, he will end up kind of sitting like a tank, as I might have explained earlier, uh, in front of the door, and he will wait there until I get out. And when I get out, he will immediately headbutt me and be like, "Meh," and then walk with the biggest sway on his butt. It's like his butt is going that way, and his tail is straight up into a big question mark. And he's just so weird. So, yeah. And yeah, he's a cat, and I love him. He's my boy. He's my cuddle bug. Always will be, always has been. So, yeah, that's basically it for this video, and hopefully you will enjoy the pictures I put at the end. I'm still trying to figure out how I can add some sound for it. Uh, but yeah, the first picture I will actually show is basically last night's update of the sloth, which is the sloth itself being laid out on my sofa, so that you can see that, or like see how it looks. And yes, the width of the sloth is actually bigger than the one of the three pillows I'm sitting on in my couch, because that's fun. um, and yeah, and then I will add the pictures of the boys helping me crochet, or as I'd like to try call it, them making me unable to crochet when I want to crochet. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching, and welcome back to the next video installment if you want to watch that or share it with others. uh, I just think it's fun to make these videos, and if I get any views at all, I'm quite happy. If I don't, I'm also happy, because this is nothing too serious. It's just me basically making a vlog of what I'm thinking there and then, and crocheting. Yes, I know I have posted a few videos of me not doing any crochet related work at all, and that's okay. But I actually am thinking of exactly how to make a challenge for myself, which starts April 1st. Uh, I may actually end up making a single video, hopefully not too long, each day, and then that'll just basically be, and I have written this down so I won't forget, because this brain is in Timbuktu. Basically, I'll make a video each day, explaining what I have done crochet related, and how much time I have spent that day specifically crocheting. And I will do my best to try find out how much I am crocheting each day, maybe each week, at least. I'm going to write things down and make things. I'm curious to see myself, because I crochet pretty much every day, all day if I can. Um, so yeah, there's that. Um, I will now log off, because I have been talking for 5 hours, actually 5 minutes more than I was supposed to. Hopefully you will enjoy this video, and as I have mentioned, I am trying to see how I can add um, sound. I'm trying something new, so hopefully that'll work. So thank you for watching, and we'll see each other again the next time I am making a video. So bye.